Hello, everybody, and welcome to Thursday Night Edition. So, what's going on? Hope everybody's having a good week. I thought I'd try that, see if that worked. You guys hear me okay? Again, when it's just me, I can't tell very well. Alex. Yes, sir. All right, cool. The bench, the bench. Let's try it again. Ready? Now, both sides. All right. Okay. Good. So you guys can hear me. Peggy was here. Alex is here. Billy Ray. Tim. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out, coming out. Uh, I am going to go to the bench here shortly and doing a show with Laz after this one. And on his show, we're going to be going over the Kramer, his giveaway guitar, and what's been done to it so far. And I am going to show you a guitar I got today from Mr. Billy Ray. Billy donated a guitar to the channel, and it'll be a giveaway, or not a giveaway. It'll be given away to somebody eventually. But I'm going to do some serious work to it and enjoy it for a while before it gets gifted away to somebody. Because it is a Jackson. And you all know how I feel about Jacksons. I've had snow for a month. It's finally melted, and now we got more coming Sunday and Monday. So, but I also, if I, oh, I'll show it on the other side when we're over at the bench. Um, I ended up getting a major upgrade for my guitar painting, and I'll show it here shortly when we're on the other side. Kind of hoping a couple other people come in. Right now here, Billy Ray, it is 34 degrees. But both, well, this one says 34, this one says 35. So, who knows? But next week, it's supposed to be close to, towards the end of the week, I should say, 60s, maybe even some 70s. There is Peggy. Joe, how you doing? Um, yeah, because I am down to like 4.5 hours left until March 5th of these free allotment shows here. So I kind of got to, that's why I started this a little after 8 and be done by 10 at the latest. And then be on Liza's show, and that will leave me a couple hours to do one more Monday. And then by Thursday, it should renew for another 20 hours. So I can either do 5 4-hour shows or 4 5-hour shows or 10 2-hour shows. Dwight, hey, Dwight, what's happening? I don't, well, yes, I do. Hold on. I do have this. Oh, maybe I don't. Dwight Bailey, the Hitman. Oh, so how's everybody's week been so far? Good, bad, indifferent? Mr. Mick, hey, Mr. Mick, did those get there? It said they were delivered. Yeah, Billy, I know what's going on with you. Yeah, tomorrow for me is going to be a little bit of a rough day. Uh, okay, good, Mr. Mick. And I'll send you the newer style as soon as I get the program figured out on that, why it's screwing up. Um, Tomorrow is my father's birthday, so it's obviously the first one since he's been gone. So it's going to be a little weird. So so with that said, let me switch over to the bench where I don't have to use the headphones since I'm the only one on here. Uh, so, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you this beautiful guitar donated by Billy Ray. I know it looks plain red right there, but it actually is a candy apple red metallic. It's gorgeous. Um, I was going to put uh, Bay Area Riches 2 point, as you can see, uh, Vega trim on it, but the screws won't fit into two mounting studs. It's already in the guitar. So I did have a Fender. That's an actual Stratocaster tremolo, and so I put that on for now. So, but we'll go to the bench and let me switch microphones, and hopefully you can hear me pretty good over there. I got to take the headphones off. Okay. I'm hoping you guys can hear me okay on this one. Oh, wait, I can check by just doing this. Check. Is that okay now? All right. Okay. So let me set this here. I got rid of, well, I didn't get rid of it. I just put it over here. The Charvel rotating stool that always cracks and creaks. So I moved it over and I'm just using the regular wood stool for now. Up out of the way. Let's see. My hands are all chewed up, so save you guys from looking at that. Still too low. Hold on. Okay. All right. So this was donated by Billy Ray. Thank you, Billy. Uh, Jackson. I started working on it. Beautiful candy apple red color. So beautiful color. It had this bridge on it, and I knew Bay Area Rich because the tremolo that we got for his Strat that I'm polka dotting, this was the factory fender when it was on it. So I knew it was 2 point here and here instead of your regular 6 screws going into the wood. So before I talked about trying it out on one of the other guitars, and Johnny's like, "Well, just go ahead and he won't care." But I wouldn't do that. So I sent Rich a text today and asked him if he minded if I would put it on here for a while, and he's like, "Sure, go ahead. It's just sitting in the box. I mean, it's brand new. Never been on a guitar." So I went and got it, took it out, and on that Vega trim, you don't have this. I mean, there's 2 studs, but they don't mount this way. There's a bar that goes across, then there's 2 screws that go into the top of it to lock it in place. Then the tremolo itself pivots off that bar, and it takes certain inserts. So I took these 2 studs out, and the insert that I need that the Vega trim uses won't thread in these, so I couldn't use it unless I pulled these out and then made it bigger. I had to drill a bigger hole and put the Vega trim ones in it. And I didn't want to do that because I'm 99.9% sure this is going to be a Floyd Rose guitar. I'll end up cutting it out. So we'll see, what happens. So I'm going to replace the pots. Switch is still really decent, but the pots, they're the smaller ones. I'll put a couple CTS pots in it. That's what I'm thinking, Billy Ray. I need to get 2 more of the flat chrome pickup rings. I got the knobs. I got to get another chrome 3-way switch cover or cap. I have gold, and I don't know if I have red or not. Wait a minute. Nope. I got a blue metallic. There's a gold metallic, but I don't have the red one. So I'll have to get some of those, or the chrome one. It has the Seymour Duncan was in it. I mean, obviously, it wasn't factory. Someone put this in it, and this is a Seymour Duncan SH12, better known as the George Lynch Screaming Demon. So I have a red custom 5 I could probably put in a neck, or I have a set of Seymour Duncans in black that's a custom 5 and a jazz that I can put in here. So I don't know. There's, like I said, chances are this is going to have a Floyd on it within a month. But I just wanted to get it done and get working on it and get playing it and have a little fun with it first. So I love the color. But again, this is that color that it chips up. You can't touch it up, not correctly anyhow. So, but I do want to take the neck off so I can do the frets on it. Beautiful color. Man, this guitar is so sweet. So I'm just going to undo the neck. You're going to hear my hammerhead screw gun work here for a minute. Bear with me. If you got headphones on, be careful. Lewis, what's happening? Hello, man. I like it a lot, Billy. Neck's got the right shape to it. Body's nice, light. See? Got here anything? Good. I don't think the neck's ever been off. All the original sawdust from the screws is still in it. Oh, let me get the brush. It's just out of the way. I have Laza's guitar for the giveaway. I'll have all the I'll have it everything but wired by the end of this weekend. And then I've never done that switch before, that 6-way switch. And so a good friend of mine who's also
Dad or mother?
She does that every time. Who also is a guitar tech for just as long as I've been. I called him today and asked him if he's ever put one in, and he said he did one. So I told him what we want to do to it. So I'm taking up to him, and him and I are actually going to figure out some kind of crazy kind of wiring scheme for it. Like I said, he's only done one of those switches, and I've never done any. And I didn't want to take a chance and hurt the switch. Jeez. Yeah, this has never been off before. So I'd rather been safe than sorry. And he's like, yeah. So Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday, because I think Monday he's really busy. I'm going to go up, take it up to him, and he and I both are going to work on it and get it figured out, some kind of wild contraption. So it'll be really cool when it's done. Definitely going to be different. But I'll show. I had it on the bench, and I'll show it here on Laza's show tonight. Just exactly what's been done to it so far. So it's going to be a very interesting guitar, and I'm telling you, it should cover just about anything from heavy metal to jazz. You name it, it should cover it. By the way, Billy, yours is in the mail, which I think it said Monday. I was hoping it would be there by Saturday, but Lewis, I'm on call at work, just stepping in to say howdy. Thank you, brother. Yeah, and yeah, this nice, nice shaped neck, the great Jackson low profile. I love it. Sharp down here. And that's normal when some people, when they do the frets, they don't do down here because they don't want to hit the body. So that's fine. No problem. Oh, that's a mess. No problem at all. We'll dress those up. But yeah, I mean everybody knows my love for Jacksons. Oh, also, I was debating. There's not enough with this front pickup with the neck pickup in here. I thought, oh, I can throw a 24-volt neck because the scale length's 25 and a 25 and a half. So 24 fret neck. I would have to cut this part of the body out, and it's almost an inch off. So the neck would have to be somewhere about right here with a 24 fret neck. So I would lose the pickup, and I'd have to, it's just too much work involved. So what I'm going to do is put the nut on here, but I haven't looked at these yet. I just dug them out a little bit ago. See if these will work. Same ones I did for the Beretta. Yep, there you go. So what I do, I 3D printed these. So what I'll do is I'll just file that down this little hump right here, a little bit. And then I'll take a little bit of glue on here and glue it to this. Put the nut on it, then screw through it. So we'll have everything ready to go. Move this. So it will have a Floyd on it. Pickup configuration. And it's either going to have 2 reds or 2 black. But still, all 4 of them will be Seymour Duncan. Because I am a big Seymour Duncan fan. I've had him in. Matter of fact, right now, I have the most guitars I've ever owned that don't have Seymours in them. And that's 1, 2, 4. I only have 4 guitars that don't have Seymour Duncans. Every other one has Seymour Duncan. So, bad. Rich. Hey, I don't know if you heard or not, Rich, but I took out, and thank you for telling me I could use your Vega trim, except it didn't work. It's the right spacing and everything, but the studs that are in that guitar, there's adapters that come with the Vega trim that screw into the studs. Then you put the Vega bar across, and the 2 screws holding it down. They won't fit. They're not the right thread for that one. So the actual, what I did put on it for now, I don't know if you were here and saw it, but since it is a 2-post system, the actual tremolo off your fender, I put it on here. Because you can't use these studs with the Allen wrenches. There's I'll just show you. That's the best way. Hold on. See? Keep all the parts in. Yeah, I was looking forward to using this, but how this works is this would go on here like that, and two screws go through that into the stud to lock it in place. Well, here's the original, the new, well, actually, these are off your fender, but you get this adapter right here. This screws down into here to take place of that stud. Then you put the bar on, and then you take these screws and they go into this. And that's what locks it in place. This will not fit in these studs like this. All right, it's a different thread. They won't go in there. I was hoping they would. I really was looking forward to using this. But yeah, it's a neat system if you're not going to put a Floyd on it. If you don't want to put a Floyd on and go through the trouble routing it out, because even if you're going to deck it, you still have to route some off the side so clear. Vega-Trem is I'm going to say it. It's the best non-Floyd tremolo system you can get. So kind of bummed me out, man. I was kind of looking forward to that, but and your loaded Buddy Guy pick guard is up there, and so is the neck hanging, so nothing happens to it. So we're good there. But I was able to put the actual fender one on here. So let me put this back in here. So on Laz's show, I can show you what came in so far for that giveaway guitar. We have the 59 for the neck. We have the JB Trumbucker, which means its spacing is spaced for the strings with the Floyd. New covers, gold. I already got the Tessie switch in. This stuff will be in probably Tuesday. The block came in. So I got the block on the bass. So we got a good, nice fat block, 37. And waiting on the saddles to come in. I already have the stainless steel upgrade kit for it. So, and trim stuff there. And the back plate. So this as soon as the other parts of the tremolo come in, that'll be done. And like I said, I should, with any luck, I should be able to get that guitar back to Laz by this time next week. I can do that, Billy, or Mad, no problem. Derek, what's happening? Yeah, so, yeah, I was kind of bummed because I had the Vega-Trem on the red Strat, the Leo James kit. Thank you again, Bay Area Rich. And I had that on there for quite some time, but that was CC's. So when I put CC's guitar, finally got it done and got it back together, I had to put it back on him, on it for him. So I don't own a Vega-Trem. But if you don't, like I said, if you do not want to route out your guitar for a Floyd, then Vegatrem is the next best thing. Although Johnny will argue and say it's the best thing, but I'll argue with him on that one. So while I have this here, put it this way so I can see it. Guys, have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions? No, Mad, no. They are between the 250 to 285 mark, where the actual German Floyd is over 300. And it's funny because the 1000s are great tremolos. They really are. And you used to be able to get them for $150. You know, used, because they never really sold the 1000s before to the public. It's what it was like a dealer's, or not a dealer, but a manufacturer's type tremolo. And it's supposed to be in between the special and the German one. And it is, but the 1000 to me, I've seen those last as long as the German Floyd. So when you could get them for 150, it was a steal because it was like half price. Now, all of a sudden, you're starting to see them over the $200 mark. So what I do is I watch Reverb, because some people still, they're diehard German. Or I have not tried the new American made ones yet. I admit I have not tried those. Those are supposed to be really good. I don't know. I never tried it. I'll find out someday. Excuse me. But I've had thousands. Well, my son Cole, his main guitar, his Schecter C1 with a Sustainiac and all that, it's got the Floyd 1000, and it's a 20. He got it in 2012 or 2011, and never had anything happen to it. He uses it all the time. So it's been what, 14, 15 years on that 1000. They play all the time. They just finished 2 or 3 days in the studio this week. Their new management company's really got them pushing. They end up getting them a whole new gigantic backdrop, and got them. They're going into Battle Creek, Michigan, and up to New York. Shut that off here. So yeah, they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing in New York. I think. Buffalo area, and then I think they're actually going to be in the city too. And I don't know where the place is in Battle Creek, Michigan. I don't know the name of the venue, but he's got them going all over the place. Well, Matt, you upgrade your Floyds, and you get the right stuff. I mean, I got mine all set to where if it's in playing position, perfect tune. If I turn it this way, it goes flat. If I turn it flat like this, it goes sharp. When that happens, I'm not talking a lot of sharp or a lot of flat, just a little bit. But when that happens, perfect, sharp, flat, then you know you got it set perfect. but all mine stay in tune. Like I said, my son-in-law for 3.5 years has been beating the crap out of the special that I put on. Well, actually, two of them. Both of them I put on both those Kellys, but they were upgraded to saddles. One has saddles from 1,000, and one has the German saddles. And he beats the crap out of them to the point where he thought something was wrong because he called me up one day. He goes, "Hey, can you look at this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, bring it down." He's like, "I don't know what happened." He said, "But I can't push down as far as I used to." So I got to looking at it, and I said, well, he uses that thing so hard, so much with the Floyd Special base plate, he bent the bar. I had to give him a new bar for it, and that's been going on 4 years now. And that special plate, the base plate, which is just like this one, that's what this one is on this Laz's giveaway guitar. So you got upgraded block, upgraded saddles, stainless steel or titanium hardware. You're good to go. And you're into it a lot cheaper. Yes, it's not as heat treated as the German Floyd is, but if you are, unless you're Eddie or Dimebag or Brad Gillis, it's going to last you a while. If you're playing 200, 250 nights a year and you're on it, the whole time you're on stage, in the studio and rehearsing, yeah, the special plate will wear out sooner than the other two will. But I mean, my son-in-law, their band plays out once or twice every month. They're in the studio. Cole, his band, they play out 3 or 4 times every month. And like I said, when they go to the studio, it's not for just one day. They go at least 3 days, sometimes 5 days in a row. And Cole's all over that tremolo too. So his is 1,000, and my son-in-law's is the special. As long as they're upgraded, you're fine. But now that people started finding that out, now the prices are starting on the 1,000s. But you can still look around on a Reverb, and what'll happen is somebody will say they buy a Jackson Pro or a Charvel Pro Mod, and they come with the 1,000s on them from the factory. Well, for whatever reason, I mean, some people want a Kahler, the Spider, which is kind of like a Floyd, or the Goto, the 1996T. So they'll take that Floyd Rose 1000 off, and that's how I got the last two that I had. I got them off of Reverb. They're like, this just came off of a 2023 Charvel, and they $105, $110. Okay, take that all day. So if you look good enough on Reverb, like I said, I don't hide nothing from you guys. That's where I get some of mine. And there's nothing wrong with them. You set them up right. First thing is, and I took that out of this one too. You notice between the bar and the spring, that stupid shim, took it out, threw it away. Don't need it. It does nothing but rob tone from any tremolo. So you'll have the block, a metal shim, the spring, and then the base plate. Take the block off, throw that stupid shim away. Bolt the plate. Here's what happens. You're taking, I'll show you. I still got it. Sometimes I end up using them for brackets. They do come in handy if you need a bracket for something. Okay. So it's this stupid thing right here. It sits right in between, underneath the block right here. So you see how thick that is. So you eliminate this, your screws go down that much more. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but it does help with sustainability, sustain you feel, and on the guitar itself by eliminating this stupid thing. What this was initially for was a stiffener. So you see how it sticks out past it goes on the block, under the block like that, but you see how it sticks out here farther? It was just a stiffener for the springs. Just to you don't need it. Don't need it. So take that and throw it over the hill or use it for some kind of template or whatever. I mean, I understand why they put them there, but they were not needed. If I ever run into Mr. Rose, I'll tell him that. But I think, I really, I mean, and what was funny is I've done that with my engineering background. You know, I was looking at when I started working on it, I thought, what? Okay. And for the first year or so, I left them on there. And one day I took them apart. I said, I'm going to take it off. And I actually noticed the difference. You know, that was like probably 87 that I did that. And I've left them off ever since. And, you know, no particular reason, other than it, to me, it just sounded better. And then years later, and I am talking years later, I see a video from FU Tone, Adam, and he did it. He was showing how to put a Floyd together. He's like, see this? Take it and throw it away. It's a tone robber. I'm like, yes. I was right. So every one of my Floyds that shim is missing. Well, it's not missing, it's deliberately taken away. On the Floyd XR model. Do those shims come on all stock? Yes. Mad, they are on every a special, a 1000, the German, the American. The XR model, you're going to have to refresh my memory. You talking about the one that bolts on top of the guitar, not into it? That's the FXR, isn't it? Yeah, I've never tried one. I thought about getting one when I had that 335 Epiphone, that what I called the church guitar. I wanted to get one for that, and then I ended up giving the guitar to a guy who needed it and plays in church and got saved. And the reason I called it a church guitar because it had cross inlays on it. So yeah, that's fine. I was just trying to think XR. I never heard of the XR. So you know, I've never tried one. I can't tell you. I know they got like a big string or spring thing underneath that you can change for different feels, which is pretty cool. But I can't tell you one way or the other. I have not had the opportunity to try one. Yeah, he bent the bar. That's how hard he plays in a thrash punk band. They're called Bolt Action, and they are on Spotify. BOLT Action. It's the kind that you can't understand what the singer's saying. I have no idea what the words are. Call me that old, I guess. Yeah, around here, Matt, I'm known as the Floyd guy. To the point where some of the other guitar techs at some of the other stores, they're like, "Don't tell the boss, but get a hold of this guy." Then they'll give him my number, so that he'll get your Floyd tuned up for you. Billy, that's the same guitar as this, right? Okay. Yeah, I can't understand what he's singing at all. Because my son-in-law, that's funny because my son writes all the music for Faith and Failure, and my son-in-law writes all the music for Bolt Action. And it's like I said, I don't get it. Their songs are like 2 minutes long or 3 minutes long at the most, I think. But I gave him two of my Kellys that I redid and repainted, and both of them have the Floyd Rose specials, but they are upgraded, and both of them have held up fine. 1000 has held up fine. The only thing that happened on his 1000 is last year he brought it down because every time before they go to the studio or go to a show, he comes down with 7 or 8 guitars, and then I spend a day or two just getting them all ready for their shows, and all their backup guitars and everything, so they have something happens. But it's funny because he'll be like, "Dad, this string something." So I'm like, "Okay." So I took it and I couldn't get the string out on the either D or G string on that 1000 one time. It took me 45 minutes because the original black saddle block rusted inside the saddle itself. And it took me 45 minutes to get that out. That's how bad. So I upgraded him with stainless steel, and he's never had another issue. But my son's the type that if it doesn't need fixed, it's working, don't fix it. Because every time he came in, brought him down here, and he travels 3 hours one way with a carload of guitars for me to work on. Then he'll sit here and he'll either spend the night, or he'll leave about 4 or 5 in the morning when I get him done, and drive 3 hours back home. But I tried a couple times. I said, "Let me put stainless in there." "No, it's working fine, Dad. Don't change it. Don't need to upgrade. Don't fix anything that's broke." Then after I couldn't get that out, and he was sitting here the whole time, like, "Stainless now, right?" He just shook his head, "Yes." I said, "If you'd let me done it before, we wouldn't be here right now." MPN. Here's another tip. Get the StewMac fret dressing file. You can take it on an angle and go like that. Get it going one way, and that's the way you stay going. Take his edges off.
So yeah, a special is fine as long as you. The biggest failure on the special is the saddles because they're like a cast or a pot metal, and you'll have people. People tighten their um, the, well, when the saddles are on here, the bolt that goes through here hits the block, holds the string in. What I tighten them pretty tight, but I don't sit there and crank on until they'll break. What I do is I use at least a 6-inch, if not a 9-inch Bondus 3 millimeter wrench, so you can see the straight lines in the Allen. So I'll put them in there and I'll start turning it, and I know I'm tight enough when I see these lines starting to twist. When I'm tightening it and it's stopped here and I got the handle and you see this starting to curve, that's tight enough. But I've seen people just put in there snug and let it go, and the minute you pull back on it, the strings pop out, or some of them do anyhow. So I kind of came, over the years of, and we're talking 41 years, 1980, 85 was when I first got my first Floyd. So 41 years of learning. This is tight enough. This isn't tight enough. But if you got a special and you go to tighten it, what will happen is you'll be tightening, and all of a sudden it just spins freely. And you can pull the screw out, and it's got the threads still on the bolt that you just stripped out of the cast saddle. So you can buy new saddles, but don't waste your time buying new, because a set of new saddles for the special is $20, $22, somewhere around there. And the same thing's going to happen again. You're not getting away with that with those saddles. You can buy a set of brand new saddles for the 1000 for $60, or you can spend 90 to 120 for the German ones. But what I like about them now is now you can get them to the radius of your neck. They're up to a 17. So with a 16-inch radius like this is a compound, so it's 12, 14, 16. Ideally, they have either a 16 or 17 radius set on the tremolo already, and it'll already pre-match the neck. There's so much to a Floyd that a lot of people, it's not just trying to figure out how to get strings in it. You got to understand that thing is just balanced on a razor's edge. What keeps it straight? String tension.
Dad or mother?
What keeps it straight is string tension and spring tension. Hold on, let me text my mother real quick. Just tell her. Hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just so balanced. To get it perfect isn't easy, but once you have it set that way, as long as you use the same exact strings each time, you don't have to reset anything. All right. Sorry about that. Yeah, they sell, obviously you get the neck shims for the nut, and then on the, I don't know if I even got any. Hold on. got. Got part of one left. Oh, need to get some of those. So what happens is you end up getting. You can get the nut shim. These are those ones. Actually, like I said, I don't use them for. Obviously, you got the nut shim. Then you can get these individual shim. This one I had to cut part of it, but it's an individual shim that you can put under the saddle. This one doesn't even have it. I don't have the saddles for this yet. Oh, dang it! Put this on the saddle underneath of it, like that, and then shim each individual saddle up, which is what a lot of people do. You know, they'll put like 2 here, 1, none, and none. Try to create that radius. But now they sell the saddles complete set. It's already got the radius built into it, so you don't need smaller one. And your nut saddles. So, it's nut saddle. Not shims. Come on. Sorry about that. So yeah, it's something to Floyd, but what I'm saying is once you have it done, you can change the strings and it'll go right back. It's not an issue. What happens is when it's not set up right, and then you start changing strings or use a different string, you're going to have to make 9 times out of 10, you have to make some kind of minor adjustment. Let's see. Here. 13, 16. That's for the Barrett. Okay, here we go. Here's what's really tricky. These are my all-time favorite, and I know they got pink on them. I hate that, but the NYXL, I think they got beautiful tone. They stretch out easier, and to me, stay in tune better. But this is 9x42. Now, some people say Dario. Look at the apostrophe. It's after the D. So it's D Dario. Anyhow, so here's 9 through 42 NYXL. Here's also 9 through 42 XL. So if I set my tremolo up to this, and even though I put same brand, same size, but a different style, it will not go right. I have to reset the tremolo for these. That's when you know you got your trem set properly. Now, that's what you got to remember. Even though they're both D'Addario and they're both 9x42s, if you have it set for this one, you'll have to reset it for that one, or that vice versa. And that gets a lot of people mad. They're like, I can't believe that I had it all set up and now that happened. And 1254 got 10 through 56, 13 through 62, Rich sent some acoustic strings, which is nice because, as you guys know, I didn't have any the other day. Thank you very much, Rich. So yeah, that's what happens, and don't even think about going from 942 or 946 of one brand to another brand. Then you're completely off. But even within the same brand, just a different model style of string, even though it's the same gauge, there will be issues. And a lot of people, like, screw, I ain't messing with the Floyd, all because of that. If I break a string, well, I mean, will the, I should just leave this out, as I keep taking out here. Obviously, it's supposed to be flat. So what will happen, you have it set for flat. So say I take the 9 out of the other set, still D'Addario, what may happen is it'll work, but it might be a little bit of an angle. Not much, but a little. Is it enough to get by? Yes. But if you want it to be absolutely perfect, you got to stay with the same model string, not just the same gauge. And you can set it up for any string you want. Just make sure that's what you carry with you as extra in case you do break one. And one thing I found out, and I got them off of FU Tone, and they're not FU Tone brand. But Adam, I remember when I saw the post, he's like, sometimes we promote stuff that we don't make that's good stuff. And they made a set of saddles for Floyd, Graphtec. And the guitar's hanging up. I'll just grab a saddle here and show you. These are special saddles off this. This is what was on that Kramer. So if you see right here, string goes in, all metal. Okay, just all metal right there. The Graphtec saddles are just like this, except that bend, that top part and that bend right there is a graphite patch. And I have to be absolutely honest, since I put those on that guitar, I've never broke a string at all on that guitar. I got them through FU Tone. They're from Graphtec, but Adam was selling them. I don't know if he still is. So it's just that part right there, that curve. It's got like a graphite pad, sits on it like that. Strings go over it. Doesn't change your tone. Sounds still sounds great, but it keeps it from, especially on your high E, from breaking. Blue, let's see. Oh yeah, the 1996 T. I'll tell you how good they are. And wait a minute. It's back. My Bengal, or not Bengal Tiger, my Yellow Tiger ESP, not LTD, actual ESP, George Lynch. I decided one day to go all gold hardware. I even took the frets off, put gold frets in it. And I wasn't about to pay $400 for a gold Floyd. So I bought the gold Gotoh 1996 T. Put it in. It works beautifully. It's never gone out of tune. But the gold wore off really quickly on it. But Gotoh, and I've tried, thanks to MPN, I found a couple, but they had a, well, let me get a post out and show you this. Mounting stud. Okay. Here's a Floyd one. Here's a Floyd stud. Okay. Tell fine threads. Okay, so what they have on the Gotoh that's better than this one, first off, this area here is a little bit bigger. It's got a little bigger hole. to get it in the body. But so you get it in there, and then you set your depth however high you want your bridge to be off the body. Then the added thing they do, it still takes a 3mm, 3mm Allen wrench, just like that. So you get it set, you're ready to go, you're level, you're perfect. Then you take this out and you take I think it's a 1.5 or 2mm, which is like this one. And it goes inside that, and there's another pin inside it, like a comes to a point, like a nail or a pin. So you got this locked in place, then you put it in there with that and go with this one, and it runs that pin down into the wood, and these things do not move. They are lock steady. That is ideal. But you can't buy just those. You got to buy the whole tremolo. I wish Gotoh would sell just those. They would make a freaking mint off of that. And then one other thing they do, which I think is really cool, and here I go getting this tremolo back out of here again. It comes with the fat brass block already on the Gotoh, but when you put the string in, or the spring right here, there is a screw you tighten down, and it actually goes over that spring and locks it in place, so that you never have to worry about popping off, ever. So that's two things that they do that I wish to God Floyd would do. Leave that out of the box. So, yeah, that's something you watch for. I have nothing against Gotoh, but I mean, after 41 years with Floyd's, it's I don't know. I guess they're just part of me now. So I mean, I put the Gotoh on that ESP, and when I say ESP, I'm not talking LTD, because when I got my first ESP in '87, LTD was not even a thing. And that's what irks me when you look at Reverb. For sale, ESP, and you click on it and it's an LTD. That irks me to no end. But to each his own. But when LTDs first came out, man, they were terrible. Now, I think they're just as good. Just because they just don't have ESP on them, they get away with a little less price. But yeah, the Gotoh 1996T is an excellent tremolo, other than the gold plating wearing off. And I emailed them about that. I mean, it was like, did I use oh my God, what are these called? My mind just went blank. Microfiber. And all I did, the second time I cleaned the guitar, wiped the guitar down, I got like right here on it, and I went like that, and it was like a lighter gold. It started wearing off the second time. So I emailed them about it, and they're like, the store that sold me the tremolo, contact them. I was like, I did. They told me to contact you because you're the ones that have it plated or coated, and they wouldn't. They're like, nope. Tremolo still works, right? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Bye. So I don't know if they do anything now more about the that issue, but who knows? But as far as the tremolo itself, it stays in tune. It works just fine. So I can't complain about it. And like I said, I actually put it on a ESP guitar. So their mounting studs are superior and their blocks are superior. But I'm just old school Floyd. 41 years with him. I probably like him just as much as Floyd does. So yeah, but there's nothing wrong with the Gotos, and they're like they're $150 somewhere around there. So I look at it this way: if you don't have the $300 for the German or the USA Floyd, like I said, now the 1000s are going over $200. So just get the Goto. No issues with them. They work just fine. I've never had an issue. Granted, I'm not playing out anymore, but I never had an issue with it as far as going out of tune at all. I thought about getting another one. Actually, I thought about getting one to put on this Jackson. I actually thought about that, getting a black one for this, or a chrome one for this. RJ. There we go. No tight fret ends. No sharp. Good there. So, yeah. Any other questions and or concerns or suggestions? Go about another half hour because I'm sure Laz is doing a show. And I know he wants to talk about that guitar. And I have done quite a bit to it. So, like I said, hopefully this time next week, by next Thursday or Friday, I'll be able to send it back to him. And then he can build it up, or build up the giveaway date show and go from there. I just think it's going to be interesting, and what I'm going to end up doing is when Tim and myself do the wiring on it, I'm going to make sure, like I did with Michael B's guitar, I'm going to make sure I write down what position switch and push pull whatever does. So that way you won't really have to guess. At least you have and I'll print it out all nice and neat, and then put it out with the when I ship it to Laz. I'll make sure it's all printed and nice spreadsheet type deal, showing you what positions where and what it'll do. For tools to scrape binding. Well, they sell a binding scraper just for that. They also sell. They'll put you in the mind of something like this, but they come in different shapes. Maybe like you have some that are arch, some concave, convex, whatever, and they're for scraping. Binding, I mean, you could get away with something this size. You're just going to have to, hold it like that in position and just a little bit at a time. But they do sell special special things just for it. So here you can do it that way. Is it on an acoustic or an electric? Electric. Okay, that's not as bad. Because when you put it in acoustic, it's actually cut a little bit deeper in for the acoustics. So electric would even be a little bit easier to do. These things here make the world of difference. Because I would sit here with steel wool and do this like crazy. And then I'd have to get out. Oh, have to get out the pump. And it does come off. That's how you put the new sandpaper. With the Dremel tool and a polishing wheel, and then some kind of polish, which always ends up all over your shirt, the desk, bench, the wall, everywhere. This eliminates that, and it gives it a better finished. Now I'll show you. That Kramer guitar that Laz is giving away, frets on it. It had fret buzz, and it had 5 different frets that were lower. 2 of them were just on one side, and the other ones were the whole fret. So there's 5 total. If it's more than 3, I do a whole level job. I'm not going to show you the whole neck, but you see what this looks like. They weren't much better than that. Okay. So I actually leveled the frets, recrowned them, then repolished them. And all I used was this stuff. No polish compound, no Dremel tool, nothing. You can see the difference between so I will show more of that guitar tonight. On Laz's show. So. So, Mr. Mick will attest to this. The best way to do this is get 4 or 5, 3, 4, or 5 of these with different grits on them, so you don't have to get done and change the grit. Take it, just if you have them already set, you just grab whichever one you need. Use it, then move on to the next one. And these are, as you can see, like right here, wide. So I do wide, extra wide, medium, and narrow. And it's designed fits the fret, wide ones. So it fits the fret. Now, I didn't design these, the initial concept of them. The guy has them, he makes them, and then he doesn't sell them. He put the file out there so anybody with a 3D printer could get the file and make them. But I have refined, I've done changes to them, so it's not exactly what the file is he's giving. You know, it's like my ideas on it maybe might be a little bit better, right? So I tried it and see which ones I like. So. But it does make it nice. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. So now we'll switch to this one. But if you have frets that are shot, I mean, it's never been polished or recrowned or anything before, what I do is I start out with 400. So I'll go 400, 800, 12 or 15. If I do 4, 8, 12, then the next one's 20. If I do 4, 8, and 15, then the next grit's 2,500. Then I'll go to 3,000, 5,000, 7,000. Then I finish it off with right here. This is a piece too. Then I finish it off with 10,000 grit. And that's what I did on that Kramer neck. I spent 4 hours on the frets on that Kramer neck the other night. So whoever gets that, I hope to God they appreciate the time I put into it. Because I did a lot. And I'm still not completely done. Well, I might be now. I got the new decal on it. On the headstock, I sanded the red off. And I got I can't use my automotive clear because it's still too cold out. So I'm just using clear from a spray can. And I'm going to have to put a couple more, well, maybe up to 7 or 8 more coats to try to level out that decal. That's what I like about the automotive clear. You know, 2 coats and it's level when you sand it flat or dust it off and buff it out. Can stuff makes a big difference. Just takes longer, more and longer. So, yeah. So depending on how bad the frets are, like I said, I actually completely, on the Kramer one, I leveled them with the fret level, and that was 400 grit sandpaper going this way. Got them all true, and then had to go through and recrown them, and then go through I started at 400 and went 400, 800, 1,200, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 7,000, and then 10,000. That's what we on that neck. So it's good to go. Like I said, whoever gets it, enjoy it, man. Or lady. Might even start a betting poll. See who wins it. I think it's either going to be Peggy, because she wins pretty much everything, or somebody who just signs up. So just join, and then they'll be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, I've only been one show. You won the guitar." But I think Laz, this is like the first step with Laz for his channel as far as that. Um, to get it, I think he'll do. When he reaches another milestone, and you might say, well, 1,000, that's nothing. Well, he's been stuck at below 1,000 for years, so that was a big thing for him. He always said when he hit 1,000, he would give a guitar away. And before it was, you pick the winner, and then it's like, okay, here's how much I'm going to spend on the guitar. What do you want? Pick one you want. That's what it was, and then it changed into something else, and now it's this totally different. Yeah, because Laz was to the point where he kept saying if he didn't get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, he was just going to quit YouTube altogether. So, it's not. I mean, my gun channel that I had, although it's slowly being dismantled by YouTube now, I keep getting emails saying they removed one of my videos from 10 years ago when I was doing the shooting channel because now it violates their community standards. I haven't posted a video on it in years, and I literally mean at the minimum 5 years, if not more. And I still have over 1,200 subscribers to the channel who still watch it. Because I still, every now and then, I'll get a question about a video from, about this particular handgun or rifle or reloading equipment. So, but just the other day, I got one. They took a video down from almost 10 years ago or 8 years ago. I'm thinking, well, by the end of the year, they'll have pretty much the whole channel down. Or at least a lot of the videos removed. But I was a professional shooter for a while. I've been an instructor for years, over 2 decades. Oh, hi, babe. Any other questions? Not going to be much longer on here because Laz has his show at 10 o'clock. Or at least it should be. I know he wanted me on it so we could talk about that Kramer guitar. You want a shotgun, Ian? I was down Fort Bragg teaching the 101st Airborne. Fat shotgun and pistol. So you can see just from the sanding how they're getting better. These two are better than these. And then you just go up to the next finer and finer until you get to the 10,000 and they look like mirrors. And there's nothing I hate more when you go to do a bend and you feel the scratches on the fret. That, and it just bothers me. It always did. Because I used to do frets with just steel wool and then get some kind of metal polish back from the 80s. And I know when I first found Flitz, I was like, yeah, that's great. Getting there. So it does take longer this way using this stuff. Let's see. I mean, I know I'm not ready for the 10,000 crit yet on here. See what it'll do anything to this yet, because that's 5. There's actually a 5 or a 5 and 7. Then I even have 8,000, but then this is the 10. See what it does. Skipping over a couple. And no junk everywhere. No polishing compound flung everywhere. So I'm going to stop this for now. Actually, I up on the other camera. Go to the other camera. Now this. And I'll be back here in a second. Back at the desk.
So what I'll do when I do route that Jackson out, I'll actually film it. We won't be able to do it live because you won't be able to hear anything other than the router. So I'll actually film it and then post it as a video on this channel, because I know I've had people before, like when I did the MPNs, both of his Berettas. Sorry, I didn't bring the chat up on the other screen so I can see. When I did both his Berettas, people was like, "Wow, I'd like to see that done." And then I did the one for the Kramer, which I still have one more pass to do. So that on that. But the next one will probably be that Jackson. And then I will, like I said, I'll film it so I can post this video and you guys can see how it's done. Peggy, did you see what? Oh, James says if he wins, he's going to rent a friend who plays Van Halen to play it. That's good. I just I hope whoever gets it enjoys it, because we're taking a $375 guitar, and he's going to have $1,000 in this by the time it's all done. So, it's definitely going to play better, sounds better. Tremolo is going to work better than the original one. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be a great guitar to own and very versatile, or versatile, however you want to say it. And then, so whoever gets it, I hope they appreciate it. Because the hours, if this was a regular customer's guitar that brought it to me and said, "Hey, do this," for everything. And we're talking routing, shielding, neck work, fret work, drilling, upgrading. You'd probably have $700 just in labor fees for what everything I've been doing to this. So this microphone picks up that all the time. I'm trying to get rid of that. I did get a what do they call those? A shield for it. Well, Matt, this Jackson is not going to be that kind of giveaway. It's going to go to either a kid who can't afford a guitar, or a veteran who needs one and can't afford one. I've even given them to homeless people. So, but not right away. It's going to be a while before that one goes because I want to get it done. I want to play it for a while. Maybe even record with it. So. But yeah, this one from Laz is it's going to be very unique. So, like I said, I just hope whoever wins it appreciates it. That's all. I mean, yeah, they could sell it. Guitar Center might give them $500, $700 for it, just for the upgrades. But I look at it this way. This is such a specialized guitar. Laz's very first guitar giveaway for a special milestone in his YouTube channel, that I would think that anybody, because I do know he did say you have to be in the chat that night of the giveaway. So I would like to think that the people who show up for that actually want the guitar, don't want it just to sell it for a quick $200, because that just defeats the whole purpose. I would hope people wouldn't be that way, but who knows? So, I gotta show you guys what I got before we get on Laz's show. I have to go 2 hours away to pick it up, and I have to rent a truck to do it. I can add this, but for my custom guitar painting in the garage, like I said, I got a 3.5 car garage. It only has, the IROX in it and the Hummer, but the Hummer comes out, the IROX completely covered with an actual car cover, and then covers over top the car cover, and it's up on the dolly, so you can like push it sideways and stuff like that. Hummer comes out whenever I got to do any painting. But the biggest problem before was painting in the garage, because it's half of it has a ceiling. I got the chrome, the silver insulation, so it brightens it up too. But I now have all those lights that look like octagons all over it. So you can't worry, you don't have to worry about lights anymore. So what I picked up is actual paint booth. 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot by 8 foot high, with a professional exhaust fan on top, with a 1 or 3 phase motor. So this is going to elevate the painting. You can control the dust better because the fan will suck everything up in it. filters on all sides. And here's the best part. My cousin, well, my two cousins, they're brothers. They came down last Sunday, and we actually went to the indoor shooting range all day. And the older one brought his son down, who is same age as Cole, my son. They're like 6 weeks apart. And he had a 3D printing company. He started in North Carolina, and then he moved up to here, where he, I don't know how much money he made at this thing, but he was 3D printing prosthetics for medical stuff. So he moved back from North Carolina back to Columbus, and we were talking. We went at the range, and after the range, we all went out to eat. We were talking about it, and his dad asked me about the painting. I said, well, obviously this temperature, I can't do it right now, but when I do it, it's doing pretty good. I just have to, booth wise, I'm in the garage. And his son, who would be my second cousin, goes, well, Ron, I have this new. And he said, we brought it back up, bought it in North Carolina, painted 2 or 3 prosthetic legs in it. That was it. He said, then we found out we could have the painting done by someone else at a cheaper rate. He's like, so I have this paint booth, and he sent me a picture of it. He said, I paid over tax and all, and he said, we're talking $3,900. I was like, oh, cool. He goes, you want it? Just come and get it. It's yours. It's only been used for three products. So I have to rent a truck to go to Columbus and get it. But I'm not passing that up. So I have a professional paint booth now, or I will have one within the next week or so. And he just gave it to me. I mean, that's how much money he's making. When they moved their business from North Carolina to Columbus, he's like, first off, we don't need it anymore because we ship the paintings done by someone else. He said, so I got it, and it's in his back storage room, and it's tore apart. It's got the 3 sides, and then the roof, and then the motor. And it's still, he sent me a photo. It still looked like brand new. He goes, you just come and get it. You can have it. I was like, oh, I'll be there. So there we go. So my paintings are going to be upgraded, my guitar paintings. Let me see if Laz sent me anything about the show. Yes. 8 p.m. Okay. So, all right. We got 6 minutes before he starts his show. Well, before it's supposed to start. So with that, I will see you guys next Monday. I'm down to like 2.5 hours now is all I got left till till March 5th of the free time on here. So come on over to Laz's show. We'll be on, I'd say, within the next 20 minutes. Thanks, everybody. Now I can't get out of here. Thank everybody who stopped by, who asked questions, suggestions, whatever. And remember, if you want to donate parts, please email me right there at ronrgunner065@gmail.com, and we'll figure out something. Again, Billy Ray, thank you for the Jackson. Donated that. Rich donated a bunch of new parts, had delivered to me. Greasy Monkey. See you. Oh no, okay. Thank you, man. Searching for Tone. All you guys have sent stuff, and Laz sent stuff before. You guys keep this going. So thank you very much. And I will see you very shortly on Laz's channel. I would say within 20 minutes. So see you shortly, everybody. Bye-bye.